Yo, what is up, folks? TG here. Explorer Pioneer's been on a bit of a downswing. While we've had like Modern Horizons 3 come out, I've been doing a lot of timeless stuff, but wanted to fill in here while we wait for Bloomberg to come out, which is the next big thing. And the format, at the moment, the format's like a little bit solved. We have Vampires, Amali, and Phoenix is kind of like the three big decks with other things floating around the edges. But there's one deck that I want to look at in particular I'm not really showcased on the channel yet, and that is the new build on Mono Green. Mono Green Devotion obviously was like maybe the best deck in the format before Karn got banned, and it is doing well again with these couple of new additions. Primarily the first thing being Leyline of the Guildpact. Obviously has green in its mana cost, which makes it very potent with Nykthos. And in particular, if you start with this Sunken Citadel and Nykthos, you can start making a lot of mana very quickly. The ability of Sunken Citadel, you're playing it for green, and then activating Nykthos with one land in play. And then if you have multiple ley lines, you're all of a sudden making 8 mana on turn 2, which is busted. But hey, you're not going to rely on having nails in your hand all the time. So there's a couple of other new cards in here. The other new main thing is Outcast the Trailblazer. And this is from Atlas of Thunder Junction. Enter the battlefield, add all mana of any color. Whenever another creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. And then also it's the plot ability. So you can play an elf on turn 1, plot this on turn 2, turn 3, actually cast it, and then get something off it, whether that be like a Cavalier or some other stuff. Read Powerful card gives you a bunch of like card draw between this and Kiora. To the extent, actually, because neither of these abilities are optional, you do sometimes have to be careful about decking out. But it's been a really nice decision to kind of like move the deck in this direction. And to that end, like we're still playing full Storm Festival, we've still got Cavaliers at the top end. We're kind of winning the game a lot of the time with Ubermord Oddity. 4 mana for a 4/4, Trample and Haste. Has seen play in the green deck before, but the 7 mana's ability to transform, and then is an 8/8 with Trample and Haste that gives all your other creatures +1/+1, Trample and Haste as well. So what will generally happen is that you have a turn where you kind of go off, end up getting like an extra Nykthos, activating the Ubermord Oddity, and then attacking with everything you've played to kind of win the game. And sometimes you're left in awkward positions where you're having to like trying to balance drawing through the rest of your deck while trying to hit the one copy of these left over. You get to the awkward spots, but I think the deck is very, very strong. Around that, you have the kind of traditional stuff. We've got our 8 mana elves at 1, we've got our Willful Haven, our Orgros Trolls, our Cures. There's also Polukranos in here, which is a nice henge versus Phoenix and some of the other decks. It's also obviously flips and gives you a bunch of life versus aggro, which is really, really important sometimes. As like the prowess deck, the wizard deck is really good. And then we've got our Cavaliers up here, which obviously help you find Nykthos, adds a bunch of devotion, again, just more reach blockers, which is awesome. And then Storm the Festival kind of pulling everything together. Top 5, 2 permanents, still good, even if like the things you're getting are normally actually like, normally you're getting like a couple of these things and then drawing to pile of cards, and hopefully getting to reset Nykthos, go again until you hit the Oddity, and activate to kill it. Mana base, we're only playing 2 Sunken Citadels. It is a little bit clunky. Obviously, a lot of the time you're going to be like, oh, I still want to play my Lano Elf on 1, the 4 Nykthos, 1 Lair of the Hydra, and 1 Beseiju, obviously the Lair. So both these just the best utility lands that we can play, and 13 Forests. I'll run through the sideboard, but I will be playing best of 1 today. We've got 4 copies of Pick Your Poison. We're playing green in the format, so these are basically mandatory. Obviously, deals with Vein Ripper and some other stuff. 2 copies of Obstinate Baloth versus Aggro next, just pop them into play. Also, is like a nice thing to add devotion. There are also like discard decks in the format. The mono black Waste Not deck is very popular, especially on Arena, and so these are great there. To the point where actually you could just load up on these if you want to play best of 3 and just play 4 on the sideboard. That would be totally reasonable. In this case, we're actually splitting space with Obstinate Baloth and Elder Gargaroth. You could easily play 2 more Obstinate Baloths over these Gargaroths here. But these are great as well. They're also like, depending on the the slower, more controlling decks in the format, often don't have good answers to this, and so just take over games there. Outside of that, we've then got 4 copies of the Stonebrain versus combo decks, things like Quintorius combo, where you just need to be able to get rid of the combo cards. 2 Unlicensed Hearts versus Graveyard and Phoenix, and then 1 Emrakul for those slower controlling grinding matchups as well. Alright, gonna hop into some best of 1 Explorer ranked. If you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. I would super appreciate it. Algorithm stuff, like, subscribe, chat around. Yeah, let's get into some matches. Alright, first match. Elf into Warhaven, got Nykthos. The Giant's a little awkward with these lands, but yeah, we'll keep this. Don't worry about Elf. Rule, okay. That'd be tough. Hopefully we can like stall them out a bit with one of these trolls. We're gonna be in a really tough position of our Elf that is gonna be delayed by quite a lot. Yeah. Okay. So taking a couple of damage. If they have another 1-drop to follow this up with, then we're in bigger trouble. But hey. that we're dealing with. Okay, yeah, I guess it's like fine, but not great. I'm putting the Haven on the lair, because well, we can use that to make Nicholas, and then we'll want to the Nicholas later on. But for now, it's more beneficial to have the land on here when we're trying the troll. I say that and then immediately. Bit of a weird one. Maybe she just dropped on the Nicholas.
Nature flows with vigor.
At this point, we're better off putting this here. We're already kind of like committed here. We can get 2 taps on Okira. If they have like the one of Beseiju, Lair of the Hydra, it'll be very, very sad. But it's likely they're not playing one, to be honest. Alright. A lot of damage. The green red version of this deck doesn't have as much natural reach as the like wizard version of the deck does. You don't have Wizard Lightning. Oh, interesting. And I go for Cure here as well. It'll be fine, but we actually have the mana here to a couple of things. I'm trying to think how we're going to draw cards. Incura, untap. Okay, yeah, I think this is right. Let's make Cura first.
You don't mind if I take my octopus for a walk? Let's get moving.
Well, let's see. Potentially we draw something better off this. Add green. Play the land. We can activate for 4. Control. You get to double draw here. Alright. Okay. Well, because they attacked the Cura last time, we actually have a bunch of life to go around with. It's always a little tricky from the red side with this spot, but if you've got the space attack face without any blockers, it kind of makes sense because you've got quite a lot of. There are ways to give creatures trample. So while you don't have natural reach with like burn spells, you do have audacity for trample, and you also have monstrous rage, like the red instant that gives like a monstrous roll token. Okay, I'm gonna foretell a bird, and they're gonna attack with just the bird. Okay. All right, so here we have a ton of mana, of course. Hold the land drop. Yeah. Actually, let's give it up. That's interesting. Like, oh, you got options, but yeah, we gotta cast a bunch of spells here. All right. Second match. We have the Leyline, but unfortunately, not much else to go with it. This hand is significantly better. We have Leyline with Nykthos and an elf. I think I'm gonna put the Seiju back, and we'll submit our Leyline. Yeah, we moved to 6, but we're gonna empty our hand very quickly here. This turn we can go Nykthos, activate for 5, play both of these out. Though it depends on what my opponent's doing. Okay, get our bones. Could be one of black aggro, could also be some kind of Insidious Root stack. Just gonna go ahead and activate here. Well, feels bad not playing the other. Maybe we do want to play this actually. I'd rather we have this and play than get Thoughtseize, is the thing. That's like the one consideration, which is a bit weird. Supposed to give us more mana. I guess it's even more, given they've already played a thing on turn 1, it's even more likely that they just don't have a removal spell. Sorry, they don't have a Thought Seize. They're much more likely to have a removal spell at this point in the game. So, make the troll. Oh, okay. It's Zombie Rally. If you're not familiar with this deck, you have a bunch of cards that say when a creature enters the battlefield and your control loses a life, and then you have I mean, they 4-3. Yeah, that math works out right.
Why do I love dragons? I love to make a splash.
Well, that's right, the Odyssey. I think the crazy thing is, this isn't even close to the most powerful thing this deck can do. Yeah. Alright, yeah. So the Rally deck will basically play these like Corpse Knight effects. It'll play Stitcher Supply, fill the graveyard up, and then rally the ancestors everything back to make your opponent lose a bunch of life from the attack triggers. Yeah, we're kind of incentivized to just I maybe should have untapped with the Cure and used the mana again first. We have a Mortify here, which is fine. But we have a lot of stuff going on here still. Look at the elf actually. Alright, so we actually milled the second copy of the Evenward Odyssey. We don't have a way to get this back, but we can set up the rest of the board. So I'm going to go ahead and untap Nykthos. We'll activate again. I'll flash back the Storm. I know we can see to this, but actually that was bad. Okay. Match 3 here. No Leyline. I mean, I'm going to keep this. We've got a bunch of acceleration plus it's on the festivals, but it's obviously a hand that's quite weak to removal. Looks like our opponent's on some kind of red deck. Could also be like, there's options, right? But would tend to be like, oh, they're playing some kind of red aggro deck with the Gigantha. There's a chance it's something a bit more off the beaten path, but it's less likely. Green and make our other elves. And set ourselves up kind of nicely, depending on what we draw. If we draw a land, we get Storm the Festival. If we do a creature, we maybe get cast it. I can actually cast all the creatures in that deck off of these lands. We're not gonna block in sniper on mana, guys, but okay. Light up. You and me, we could light up the stage. As we've done it many times. That's rough from our opponent's side. To be in a position where you're double lighting everything on turn 2 versus this deck in particular, you're in a pretty rough spot. Okay, so you have Nykthos here. Nykthos is currently for 3. We can make it for 4. What's the cost of putting this to play? 3. We get 1 back. We then use 2 to also 4. Yeah, we get 5 mana if we play this first. Because if we can squeeze it in, we get to draw cards, which is nice. But we're just gonna Storm the Festival. Okay. And this is kind of lights out if they can't kill it. And then there's a case of like, okay, do we want the Cavalier? Do we want to start clocking straight away? I actually value taking the Odyssey, because in this position in particular, where they kind of not done anything like that too, but you just start attacking and flip this straight away if they don't kill it. And if they kill this and not the Plukernos, then the Plukernos all of a sudden flips a lifelink. Kind of like, yeah, you're dead. Match 4 here with the green deck. The other thing I should say is that if you've not tried Timeless, give it a go. If you're not interested in playing it, the decks are super sweet. I'm going to mulligan this because we've got Leyline but nothing till turn 3 here. We can't actually cast any of our spells. This is an awkwardly similar situation. Our opponent's on the play as well. I don't like the odds of mulligan to 5. We at least have Willow even. We can go like this on turn 2, and then we can, like, in a racing situation, we can plot this and then make the Cavalier the next turn. Hopefully. We'll keep this. I'm going to get rid of the Odyssey actually in this situation. Alright. Not terrible. Cave's an interesting one. There's not a lot of decks that are in the market for Cave. Okay. Angels is not unwinnable. Maybe not what you want to hear. But, hey. Yeah, so there's the bishop. They have the effect that they need. I'm gonna put Cure into play here and then plot the outcast the next turn. Alright, the problem with the Angels is they gain too much life. It is possible to win through them kind of going off. A little bit. It's pretty. Once they get like a million tokens in play, it's actually okay. But here we're in a bit of an interesting one. So, well, outcast first. Gonna get to add some mana and draw a card. Go ahead and add green. This then lets us go. Troll before Cavalier here. Kind of committing at that point to not playing Necklace in hand. I think this is yeah, okay. Alright, we're gonna draw some cards. Cavalier's obviously is geared. No, okay, we can value the untap a bit higher. This is not. I should have gone for this. Was a horrible mistake. I should have gone for Monta first. I guess the upside from this position is that they are depending on what they do this turn, we can untap and kill them. But yeah, I should be able to put more. This was just missequencing. I spent too much time thinking about whether we could. Or okay, this is the one thing we didn't want to see. Double Resplendent Archangel Angel is a lot of life. We're going to be tested. I actually really want them to kill our Kiora here, which sounds stupid, but we're going to struggle with some stuff. Okay. 3 mana. We actually have a creation. We have 42 cards in our library. Alright, yeah. We don't have time to really think about this too hard. I'm gonna go ahead and activate this. Green. And I'm also going to use the first untap Cure here as well. So if we hit an additional Nexthos or anything like that, we can kind of get out of it. I'm gonna Storm the Festival first. Okay. Oh, I cannot take this Trailblazer. We're gonna get these two. This is the problem, is that we're now drawing 4 cards. We now have 6 cards in our library. Alright. Put all the Mystics into play. And then we're gonna value these. They're on 75. We're gonna have some math to do. Okay. 34. Oh, the Cavaliers are bad for this reason. That they mill us. 26. Okay. Mystic. Nexthos. This one, activate for green. Cavalier. Be super careful. Okay. 18 cards. If we hit Cavalier, so we're still drawing 2 per. But this is bad. Uh, 18. Okay. We're not in the exact matter. 10. Uh, 8 cards. You can't double activate, right? 7. This is just a hey, do we draw into Kiora? But we should play it anyway. Six. Now drawing 3. But now it's too much. 9, 5. Oh right, because of the mana creatures. 5, 6, 7. Flip this. That one. I don't even know how close we are to this being like a good attack. Send this. And then make some blocks. This is the closest thing we can do to. But this kind of chain of like drawing and looping is generally how you kind of try and get there. We probably hit through all our cures, right? 1, 2. What one in play? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. But yeah, you see what I mean? If it wasn't for the fact that some of the creatures and like at this point because they hit double Archangel, they got to go wide with creatures while also getting a bunch of life. Otherwise, you have a bit more of a shot here. Double activating the Angel leads to some more stuff. All right, yeah, sure. They make a bunch of 1/1s as well, don't they? Oh, he's going back on top as well. Yeah. We are so dead. That's too many cards. One more. Okay. Yeah, if I flip this, I think we live as well. Yeah, this is kind of a. We don't actually live, but It's close. Alright, anyway. Alright, match 5. Yeah, Angels is tough. Like, if you give them another turn, they have to go off. You have to try and kill them. It just is really hard. Got some bigger things going on. You got double elf here. It looks like a little underwhelming, but I think we keep this. Yeah, like, even if we live that turn, they get to play a bunch more angels, make a bunch more tokens, gain a ton more life. And all those creatures die made a bunch more ones too. Okay, cool. Haven here kind of saving our hand a bit. Seachrome Coast heavily implies spirits, or flash potentially, but we'll see what happens. Ooh, no, okay, it's the like aura spell stack, I think. I mean, it doesn't really matter here, but yeah, danger here is us dying very quickly. We're just going to try and land a Cavalier and still find more of them as fast as possible. This card is pretty sick. When it becomes a target with spell you control, you draw a card. And so, yeah, here we go. Research. And insight as well. So you draw 2 cards, get into life. When each of these also drew cards, so pretty dope. Alright, I'm gonna make a Cavalier. Yeah. Try and find us a Nykthos. We don't, but hey, we do ramp a little bit. And we can now block. So there'll be things like God's Willing. There might be some actual unblockable effects. I think there's a 2 mana one. Like plus 1 stone unblockable. We'll see how that goes. We can at least in this situation like chain the Cavalier of Thorns a little bit. Ooh, yeah, March is sweet. Okay. They're still cracking in fairly slowly, but figuring this out is nice. I still need to try and revisit the kind of like toxic impact archetype. So now we can build the festival. The other alternative is we play. No, if we play Cavalier, even if we find the Nykthos, we can't use it, so we might play this. Spell Pierce is good versus this card, but I think it's worth the risk. Alright, we find second Cavalier, we find Sunken Citadel versus Leyline. The Leyline's not. None of these cards are doing anything really without Nykthos. And of those 2 things, Leyline is better with Nykthos, so we'll get a Leyline. Oh, actually, that might be it. Well, no, all creatures are green anyway, isn't it? Sure. What we're threatening to do if we can find a Nykthos is just like kill all in one turn with the Oddity. One thing here, like they've been getting life at 26. We could attack, but I think okay, we'll try and block it if they. The problem is that if they have a March, it phases both these out anyway. It's a bit awkward. But if they like Ottawa or have a bounce effect, then something entirely different. Got research. We have another way to get through blockers. First strike's pretty good. Okay, ossification will hit one of these. I'll block here while we're able to. I think that makes sense. Alright, let's get a Storm the Festival back, I think. The alternative is we can go, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. We could take like the Blue Kronos. I didn't mind this because the Summer Festival will have flashbacks on Graveyard. Let's take action here. The reason why I think this is okay is our plan is to kind of just play any Cavalier. At which point, if we hit the next toss, we hit the next toss, because that's kind of what we're digging for. And we'll be able to look at storming anyway. And if we don't hit the next toss, we should hopefully be able to cast a blue toss and then again have at least either be closer to the next toss, or there we go. Let's go ahead and activate this. 4 green. Alright, we got 11 mana, 12 mana. We can use one of these, or we can go do some other stuff. I think that actually, given the nature of game, we've gone through 3 Cavaliers already. I actually kind of like the idea of just making these creatures. We can even have this Leyline in play to give us a ton of mana to storm the festival with next turn. So yeah, I'm going to attack with these. And we're setting up basically Oddity plus a ton of mana to put together a lethal board next turn. Which assumes that we don't just die, which could happen. If they have another march, they can march both. They maybe do have another march. Yeah, they should have lethal attack here. Fair enough. Yep, Ethereal Armor will do it. There's not really anything we do about that. Alright, well. Tough one. I think we play it as well as we could do here. And we have a line for next turn, so we just need to dodge this time for a blue for a march. Yeah. Alright, post-match wrap-up. I think we won the first 3 and then lost the last 2. Angels is a pretty tricky matchup. If they manage to go wide with tokens, then you're pretty much game over, because they're also getting like 70, 80. Like, there's a certain amount of damage you can really do, like putting a bunch of 4/4s into play and then getting them all haste absorb this one. Which is like the one downside of this version of the deck, I guess. You can use this kind of Leyline shell and then go bigger instead of playing the oddities, and maybe instead of playing some of these, you can kind of go a bit bigger and go to the more traditional like Titan of Industry type threats. But this is the version that's kind of been performing the best, I think, and this is what I'd recommend. But yeah, you do have a couple of weaker matchups, and similar again with the Azorius deck. March is just so good versus green. And that'll pretty much always be the case. But hey, I think that's really good. Overall performs super well versus the meta. Has been putting up results for quite a while. And yeah, if you're looking to play green, then the Diversion deck is back. And super strong, especially in best of 3. You get some really good sideboard cards to pick your poison. The Balos again are just great. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do like, subscribe, share the video around, all the algorithm stuff to help me out. That'd be really appreciative. I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out.